worked the first time this time. That's good. Let's see who's in the chat. The bet. The bet's here. You are first, sir. Yes, you even beat me, so you are absolutely the first person. Welcome. I don't think you've been here before, unless you're coming in under a different name. How you doing? We'll wait for a few minutes, see if some other folks show up. I'm sure they will, you know. I always get a few people in here every once in a while. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You know, didn't have a good day yesterday, but better day today. Chess Hall is here. How you doing, Chess? You gonna behave yourself today? Keep your shirt on. That would be nice. And Ken's checking in from Pittsburgh. You always say checking in from Pittsburgh. Yeah. So I appreciate that. Cowboy Swami's here. I haven't seen you in a while, sir. Thanks for stopping by. So what's going on with everybody today? We don't have a set agenda really. We just pick a subject and kind of go with it. Dirk's here, the Blade Meister. Recently monetized Dirk Blade Meister. If any of you guys are interested in knives, either fixed blade or flip lock blades or any kind of blades, really, definitely go over to Dirk's channel, give him a sub. You will like what you see. He's got some crazy knives on there. Until I started watching Dirk's videos, I had no idea that pocket knives were that specialized or even honestly cost that much. I mean, I was really shocked by that. Just a minute. Do one thing here. There. now I can read it better. Let's see. Chess. What did the doctors say? I don't want to go into that too much, Chess. Doctors, something was wrong with me. I went to the doctor, and he basically agreed with me that something's wrong, and it's something we're going to have to work on. I'm not going to keel over in the next 10 minutes, so don't worry about that. But hey, I'm getting old. I'm older than BVD. The Big Ball Daddy. I am older than the Big Ball Daddy, and that is depressing. So, what can I do? Just keep going to the doctor, keep doing what he tells me to do, and hopefully this clears up. I am going to make the Slav Olympics, Chess. You're not going to get rid of me that easy. So I am going to be there in March, and you will have to deal with me. Ken says, notice contrail. Oh, yeah, that's good. I got to get a notice in here. I keep hearing good things about it. I am wearing my Marathon JSAR Yamen edition. The Yamen, if you guys don't know, is a Israeli Special Forces group, and they had Marathon make a watch for them. And the unique thing about this is it has a day date wheel on it, as you can see near the crown, and the day wheel is in both English and Hebrew. So I really like this watch. If you watch my channel and you see my videos, I favor a big watch. So very happy with this watch. I did buy the optional metal band for it. I might put that on at some point, but I haven't decided yet. A bracelet, not a band. I'm sorry. That comment section usually blows up when I call a bracelet a band. So Slim Mosley is here. Slim number one. Definitely Slim number one. Listening to this in the background while I'm looking for a new handle for an axe. Well, that's an activity nobody's come up with before on my channel, so good luck with that. You know what they say, I've had this axe for 50 years. I've gone through 5 different handles and 3 different heads, but it's the same axe. Blue Shirt Buddha's in the house. Thanks for stopping by. Dirk says knives are second only to watches in craziness and value. Well, I beg to differ, sir. I've seen some crazy watches before, to be sure, but nothing compares to some of those pocket knives that are about 6 inches wide when they're closed. You've got some folding knives on there that are just nuts. Wilkie 451 is here. Blades are expensive, but you get what you pay for. I agree with that completely. It's the same. That's the same thing with most anything. You get what you pay for. If you go cheap, you're probably going to get cheap. Big 12 is here. How you doing, Cowboy Swami? What do I think? Rolex. Why do you think Rolex doesn't work on vintage? I don't think that's true, Cowboy. I mean, if you send an older Rolex back to Rolex for service, I'm sure they'll work on it. I don't know about a Rolex, like a shop that is an authorized Rolex dealer repair and maintenance facility. They might want to upgrade an older Rolex with more modern parts, new hands, new um, indices if they're needed, maybe even a new watch face or a bezel or something like that. But I don't know about not working on vintage. Maybe they don't restore vintage. I mean, if that's what you're talking about. But I would think that if I had an old Rolex from the 50s or 60s or 70s and it needed service, and I sent it to Rolex for service, I'm sure they'd work on it if they had parts, of course. Big 12, what is happening? Not Lou. I don't see Lou in here. Every once in a while, Lou or BVD will pop in here to say hello, but that's not something that happens very often. Blue Shirt says, feel better. I'm okay, Blue. I'm not, I'm not dying. It's just something went wrong uh, inside, and it got me, it went wrong bad enough that it spooked me. And I went to the doctor and he confirmed, yeah, something is not right, but it's not fatal. It's just something that you better work on it now while it's not a big deal, and get it treated and hopefully get it fixed. The prognosis is good. It's not great, but I mean, it's not like it's 100% guarantee I'll get rid of it, but it's a you know, high percentage that I'll be fine. And like I said, I will make the Slav Olympics, so be ready for that in March. Chess. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. I appreciate it. Thoughts and prayers are always welcome. That's very nice of you. Brett likes my watch. Bet I should say the bet. Yeah, I appreciate that, Ben. I chased this one on and off for a while. Trying to make the decision. Did I want a marathon? Did I not? Did I want the Yaman or did I not? And finally, everything kind of came together, and I bought it. And Big 12 says Big 12 starting to troll. UF has the worst QB in Kyle Trash Can. Trask Can. Very witty. Very. Do you write this stuff yourself, or do you have somebody help you? UGA got rid of Jake Fromm. Well, yeah, I mean that's the best thing that probably going to happen to UGA. But then again, Fromm beat Florida 3 years in a row, so can't troll him too much. He's not a very good quarterback. Probably not a great person, in my humble opinion. I don't think he's long for the NFL because the NFL is now 10,000% woke, and they're not going to let him stay around very long. The pressure will be put on the Buffalo Bills to get rid of him, and the pressure within the Buffalo Bills to have him do a semi-graceful exit, I'm sure will happen. Let's see. Dirk says, "Yeah, Dirk, I agree. You got some crazy stuff, but you know what? I got a few fairly crazy watches, so it's 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 all in how you look at it. Texas will be back because of Sam Ellinger, which is what Big 12 said. Yeah, Texas will always be back. They'll always be back to being a perennial also ran in the Big 12 and in the national championship. The national championship goes through the SEC, so deal with that reality, please, sir. Slim, thank you. Slim Mosley says, thank you for acknowledging the number one part. I should explain that in case nobody knows. There are a couple of sports related channels that I frequent. There are two Slims on there. There's Slim Mosley, and then there's Slim Shady Kane, who's a big Miami Hurricane fan. I believe Slim Mosley is a big Georgia fan. But Slim Mosley says he's the number one Slim. So someday the two Slims will have to get together on Uncle Lou's fan versus fan thing and battle out for the number one thing. Big 12 wants me to do a call-in show. I would really need to work on getting additional hardware for that, sir. And a second phone line since I am not giving out my cell phone number. Grimwood. Kyle Grimwood is in the house. Grimwood Watch Modding. How you doing, man? Thanks. I'm glad you could finally catch a live feed. Of course, you're 6 hours ahead of me, which means it's dinner time over there in the UK, and it's late for you. I understand, but NASCAR Ball has joined us almost halfway through the 2020 Cup season. Kyle Busch is the third best driver in JGR. Okay. No. Let's see. Slim Mosley. Not sure what he. Yeah, he's talking about his axe handle again. Let's see. Big 12 wants my thoughts on Texas. Texas is, I would have to defer to what Uncle Lou said in his recent video. Texas has got some good pieces, and they could certainly compete for the Big 12 championship. I just don't think they're on the same level as a lot of the upper echelon SEC teams. And you are correct, sir. Florida's secondary is very good. There is a reason that Florida is known as DBU. They produce great defensive backs and defensive backfield players. NASCAR Ball is still trying to troll me by saying Kyle Busch has fallen off. Kyle Busch has not fallen off. You can't win every race, sir. Kyle Busch is still the wheelman of wheelmen, and he is still the greatest of all time, or the GOAT. No, that doesn't work. Cowboys Formula wants thoughts on JSAR, my JSAR here, Jumbo Search and Rescue, for those of you who don't know what JSAR is, versus tuna. I've never had a tuna. The closest Seiko tuna I ever had was the Arnie reissue, which I recently sold to Dirk, actually. So Dirk, I hope you're still enjoying the Arnie. I like the JSAR better. I think it's a bigger watch, a heavier duty watch. I just think it's a more stylish watch all overall, and I really like it a lot. And I'm not selling this one, that's for sure. Big 12 says Hot Rod, meaning Georgia's field goal kicker, who is now gone, and the defense beat UF. I'll agree to that because Florida hasn't had much of a running game in the past few years. And if you can just stack the box and dare up until last year a below average quarterback to beat him with his arm, which would be Felipe Lepew, then you could beat Florida that way. Now Florida kept the game very close last year with a subpar running game, but with a very good quarterback. So I expect in 2020 the story is going to be a bit different. Of course, the Georgia fans won't agree with me. Slim Mosley says starts right. Oh, he's talking about his axe again. Let's see. Big 12 throws up a whole bunch of uh, years: 2009, 2009, 2005, 1970. I don't know what those numbers mean. May you please have a fan versus fans call-in show? Sure, you can have a fan versus fan call-in show. That will be Thursday night, Tuesday and Thursday nights at 10 p.m. on the local Lou channel, since I don't have the ability to do call-ins. He does. I am very simple. Here I am, a computer with a built-in camera and a built-in microphone. Uncle Lou has a radio station-like setup, so you're in the wrong place, sir. The bet says Texas is like the Terminator. They will always be back and always be back to losing 4 games a season. Let's see. NASCAR ball. I want to see pissed off ball fan and Uncle Lou go at it on fan versus fan. I would like to see that. I enjoy watching Uncle Lou go off on any fan except me, which he doesn't do because he knows I'm a trash talker. Now I could trash talk on a Mustang thing, Mustang versus Camaro or whatever, but on college football, I'm not really very good at it. So Moses says, "Yeah, we got to set that up." Talking about Slim versus Slim, we got to have that. Big 12 says, "Surprise, he is not a Gump." Who is not a Gump? Let's see. NASCAR Ball says, "Kyle better be careful. Eric Jones might pass him." Stop it, sir. Come on now. Two-time champion, 211 victories in the top series of races. Also a Xfinity champ, although back then it was called Nationwide. All-time leader in Nationwide, Xfinity Series, and all-time leader in trucks, and will be very close to all-time winners in Cup racing. You need to come up for some oxygen, sir. Grimwood Watch Modding. Yep, it's dinner time with 2 kids to feed. Question: Verizon version 1 or 2? Which do you prefer? You know, I have, as you know, I have a Zelos Horizon V1. I have one of God, I can't think of the word now. Aventurine watches. My dad has both a version 1 in bronze and a version 2 now. And I got to tell you, there's not a lot of difference between them in terms of, size or feel or functionality. They're both pretty much the same. So I think it's going to come down to a question of what color combination you like. So I think that's where it's going to come down to, Kyle. It's just I can't see functionally a big difference between the 2 versions. Big 12 says only Bammers watch NASCAR because they are fake fans. That's an Uncle Lou troll. I don't believe that, but maybe there is a bit of a correlation between Alabama being bad and NASCAR having a big audience. But I'm not going to go there. NASCAR Ball says Chase getting the win at Talladega this weekend. Yeah, we'll see. Talladega and Daytona are the wild card tracks. I mean, we've seen some of those back markers, which are perennially either starting parks or they finish the race 10 laps down. Some of those guys actually have a shot to win. So Talladega is a wild card. I hope Kyle Busch can win the race, but it wouldn't be surprising to me if one of those mid-pack jokers, wins the race after a whole lot of attrition occurs. So we'll see. Dirk says the Arnie is great and sucks at the same time because now I need all the versions. Well, now there are 5 versions of the Arnie? Didn't Sego just release 2 of them? I think Mark over at Long Island Watch did a video on the 2 new ones. So, yeah, well, if you can afford those $4,000 knives, you can afford to get 1 of each on the Arnies. So I fully expect you to do that. So Ken Spears says expecting big things from Notre Dame this year. The offensive line should be dominant. I don't know enough about Notre Dame to really comment on that either way. Hopefully, my friend Uncle Lou will do a video on Notre Dame and see what he has to say because I'm just not up on what they're doing, really. Time Flipper is here. Just joining, or we're talking football and watches. Flipper, we talk about whatever the hell the chat room goes with. I mean, I enjoy just letting them pick a subject and let me go with it. But sometimes I grab a subject and lock on to it. But most of the subjects that are prominent today are just so idiotically controversial. I just don't want to bother with them. And it's just too dangerous to go on a free for all rant about some of the crap that's going on nowadays. I mean, I got plenty to say about what's going on in Seattle, what's going on with the upcoming quote unquote civil war. I got plenty to say about the beer flu and all that nonsense. But you know what? I don't want to. I'd rather keep my channel. Big 12 says Mullen needs to be Georgia. Yes, of course he does. NASCAR Ball says the All-Star race is in Bristol. I did see that today. I think that's interesting. I think that plays to Kyle Busch's strength, of course, since Kyle Busch owns Bristol. Yeah, that's another thing Kyle Busch has done that nobody else has done and probably will never do is sweep all 3 races in a weekend. He's done it twice. Nobody else has ever done it. Let's see. Big 12 still wants to do a fan versus fan. It's the Uncle Lou show, not mine, sir. But I agree with the next comment you said, join the Uncle Lou Collins show. I am not going to do fan versus fan. I am not a good trash talker. So I'm just not going to, I can't do it. Let's see, NASCAR Boss says, the Uncle Lou NASCAR Bama thing is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I agree. But you know what? He doesn't understand NASCAR. He doesn't like NASCAR. He doesn't think NASCAR is a sport. And I'm just not going to get drawn down that rabbit hole. I know Uncle Lou well enough now after 5 years to know that almost everything he posts on Facebook now is a troll. He's trying to get a reaction, and he does really good at it. Although I do believe he believes what he says and what he posts. And a lot of the things he says on his channel are trolls just to suck people in. And I'm not going to, I'd like to think I'm too smart to do that most of the time. Although sometimes I get sucked in, but not often anymore. The NASCAR thing, anything he says about NASCAR is automatically a troll. And all I hear at that point is like, you ever seen Charlie Brown cartoons where the teacher's talking and they go, wah, 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 wah. That's what I hear when Local Lou talks NASCAR. I just hear wah, 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 because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And I love you, Lou. If you watch this at the, after the fact, I love you to death, but what you know about NASCAR is, fits in a thimble with room left over. And I know you're proud of that, so I'm not worried about that. Agree to disagree as it goes. Wilkie says Slim Shady Kane isn't good at trash talking. He was on Big Skin Pete's channel saying he was the best trash talker on there. I don't know. He's better than me, Waikiki. Wilkie, I'm sorry, I'll call you Wilkie, of course. He's better trash talker than I am, but is he as good as, say, Jeff or others? I don't know. Is he as good as Chess? I don't know. We'd have to have that battle and see where we go with that. Big 12 says, how in the hell do you lose to Vanderbilt? Homecoming is not one of SEC. Yeah, that was one of his most famous rant videos. I think that's the one that caused his channel to take off. Yeah, I know, Kyle, that you have the Aventurine. Yeah, they are great looking. It's one of the best looking dials I have in my collection. I really like that watch. I should wear it more, but I don't. fact, I might put that on for my afternoon watch now that you're putting that thought in my head. Slim Moses says, saw that Wilkie. I was still talking about axe handles. NASCAR Ball says that Bubba Wallace, Bubba, I call him Bubbles because he is a bubblehead. If Bubba Wallace wins daggone breaking a TV, probably never going to see a clown again. No, Bubbles will never see victory lane. I will go to my grave saying that Bubbles will never see victory lane in the Cup Series. He's riding an inferior equipment. He's not a good driver. Nobody likes him. Nobody's going to cut him a break. And he's a schmuck. I hope, I always say that Bubbles will never find that respect in the back of the field. So maybe he should go back to Xfinity and learn how to drive again. Big 12 says Florida will lose to Ole Miss, fake news, and Kentucky, fake news. And don't forget UGA. Again, fake news. Florida's going 12-0. Shut up. Wilkie says, still talking about axe handles. I'm just going to leave you guys alone to do that. The bet. Which one is better to watch, baseball or NASCAR? Sir. Really, it's not even a question. Baseball is a sport for raving insomniacs that don't respond well to strong drugs. Baseball is for people that find golf too exciting. Please, baseball. Baseball is an excuse to drink beer in the sun while sitting in the bleachers. I mean, baseball. I got no use for baseball. NASCAR Ball, Chop, the News Country Roar, formerly known as Downtown Seattle. Yeah, that's true. It'll remain a new country as long as I find it funny that this little fiefdom in the middle of downtown Seattle, the first thing they did with this hyper lib enclave, the first thing they did was start checking IDs and putting up walls. I thought checking IDs and putting up walls was racist. Never mind. Moving on. Big 12, how do you lose to Vanderbilt? Easy, you don't play a good game. Wilkie says, Saleen, on my watch band, the part that holds the extra part of the band strap broke, but the band is in good shape. Any ideas how to fix it? Oh, you mean the keeper? This little thing here, this part right here, one of these keepers. You know what I do? I would go to a jewelry store and buy a cheap watch band that's the same color, and take the keeper off that new one and put it on the old one. That's how I do. Or straps are so inexpensive right now. I mean, you can find a decent leather strap for $15-20 at any good jewelry store or department store. I just go ahead and replace the strap. Big 12 said F1 is way better. I like F1. I do. I really do. I like Lewis Hamilton. I've liked him since he started in 2007. It's just F1 is doing everything they can to stomp out competition rather than encourage it. All these idiotic rules, and then the fact they're not even using engines anymore, they're using power units, hybrid power units. Aren't we fancy, we're so fancy because we're Europeans, and we're so much better than those Americans with their V8s, with their overhead valves, and they just rediscovered fuel injection. How gauche. So I like watching F1. It's good filler material for my mornings or whatever, but can't get passionate over F1. It's it's Euro trash nonsense. The politics of F1 make me ill. Wilkie says, my daughter doesn't believe this is a live show. Can you tell my daughter hi, please? Hi, Wilkie's daughter. How you doing? How old is she, Wilkie? I mean, that's not my daughter. One of my daughters is still living with me for the summer before she goes back up to college, and she's upstairs right above me right now. And I guarantee, and she keeps college student hours, which means she doesn't wake up till like 2 in the afternoon. But right now, she's probably sitting there. I can hear him talking, and I'm going to go down there and kill him. So you see that door behind me right there? If that door opens and a teenage girl walks in here, uh, dial 911 because she's probably going to kill me. No, she's a good girl. She's really a great kid, and she understands. Oh, I see that down there. She's 6. 6. I remember 6-year-old daughters, Wookie. Um, wait until they go into the preteen mode. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I don't know who's easier, girls or boys to raise. I have 2 girls. I have a 22-year-old and a 19-year-old. I did manage to survive, although you can see my hair is very gray now. So wait until they start dating their Wilkie. That's going to be a lot of fun for you to watch. Let's see, where did I leave off here? The bets. I think NASCAR is a little more entertaining than baseball, but never watched either baseball. Bet. I would say give NASCAR a chance. The race coming up this weekend at Talladega. I think that'd be a good race for you to watch because that's going to have a certain level of excitement. So definitely try and see that one on Sunday. NASCAR Wall says F1 sucks. They don't beat and bang there. Not a lot of cross racing. And yeah, I agree. If you touch another driver's car with your car, hell, they'll black. They'll if your car isn't crippled immediately, they'll probably pull you off the racetrack anyway. Let's see. LSU lost to Troy on homecoming. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes at homecoming, hey, Florida lost to was it Georgia Southern? At home to a team that threw the ball 6 times the entire game. Oh no, no, I'm sorry. They only threw the ball once the entire game. So Florida's had its embarrassing loss too. Big 12, Florida, no road game outside the state of Florida in like 30 years. That's true. Except I'm conference. You did put that. Yes. Okay. Well, the fact that we have to play 9 conference games is no 8 conference games is a problem. The fact that our main non-con rival, Florida State, happens to also be in our state, that has an influence on it. The fact that the other non-con games are usually against cupcakes, and we pay them to come to our place to play, like every other major team in college football. Okay, yes, that you know what, it's a worthless argument. It's a worthless argument to me. It means nothing. So I'm not even going to entertain it beyond. I've just explained why it's so, and that and $1 will buy you a cup of coffee at 7-Eleven. So moving on. So Moses, it always looks like you're drinking a Bud Light with that bottle. Yeah, this is just water, Callaway Blue. It's a brand that my local Publix carries that I think tastes good. And I've learned from multiple medical incidences that keeping hydrated is very important to my particular fucked up system. And I'm talking as much as I do on the street, my throat dries out. So yeah, I'm hitting the bottle pretty good, but it's just water. NASCAR about Bubbles spends too much time on CNN and not the time at the shop. Bubbles needs to spend a lot more time on the track trying to figure out how to get around the track without killing himself or knocking other people off track. Him and Stinky Wreckhouse need to practice a hell of a lot more on the simulator because they suck. Big 12, Florida has not had a perfect season. Yes, we know that. Big 12 baseball and football are the best. Football is the best. Baseball is Private's here. How you doing, Private? I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget to click the like button. It does help me out. I appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. And Super Chat is available if you want to make use of that. I'm not begging for money. I only mention it once per stream. It does help, but you're not obviously anyone you're obligated to do that. So I appreciate you just being here, of course. Private says Ken Spears. I'm looking into getting a Notice Avalon 2 when it gets back in style. And the Notice is a great watch. I hope Notice somebody would get me one of those so I could review it. I really have heard good things about Notice. The bet says watching paint dry is better than watching baseball. I agree. NASCAR ball says I can't stand baseball. They stand around looking at each other and then throw a pitch, and most of the time the batter misses. Baseball is. Baseball. The players just sit around in the middle of the field scratching their nuts and spitting. This is not to me exciting. Let's see. NASCAR ball says NASCAR is a man sport. I agree. There's a new name I haven't seen in here before. Groves Music Nation. Grooves. I'm sorry, Grooves Music Nation, not Groves. Grooves Music Nation. There's a spider that just crawled inside your shirt and do your work for NASCAR. What? I have no idea what that means. No, I don't work for NASCAR, and there's no spider in my house. I have a clean house that's well exterminated, and there's no idea what you're talking about, sir. Moving on. The bet, football and hockey are the most entertaining sport. You are absolutely correct, sir. You have nailed two of my three favorite sports. I love hockey. I grew up watching hockey. I was born in Boston. I grew up watching the old the old Big Bad Bruins, Orr and Espo and all those guys, and then later O'Reilly and all those guys. I grew up watching hockey, so I picked up football in '72 when we moved to Miami. That's when I started watching football, but I started watching Gator football in '75, and that's when I became a Gator fan. Let's see. A Weinberg, there's another name I haven't seen in here before. Appreciate you stopping by. Going back to what I was talking about with Wilkie and his 6-year-old daughter, he says no dating unless I pick the guy old school. Absolutely. I wasn't quite that to that level when both my daughters started, brought boys home or whatever. But I made it known that I expected the boys to respect my daughter and respect me. Let's see. That says, what channel is it on? I think I should talk about the race. Right now, the NASCAR is running on Fox, so it'll either be on the Fox network channel or it'll be on FS1. So find FS1 or Fox on your local TV, and you'll see the game. You'll see the race. I think it's at 3:30. I'll have to check that. Let me check that now. It'll be on Fox at 3 on Sunday. So 3 o'clock on Sunday on Fox, not FS1. So I hope that helps you out. Big 12 says Texas has 3 non-conference and plays LSU. And we play LSU also. And we also have 4 non-conference games. So whatever. Private, let's talk about watches. Okay, what do you want to talk about with watches? So you go, and I'll go. See the bet. Breaking news: Big 12 hasn't won a natty in a decade. This is true. A. Weinberg, are you wearing a Zelos today? Actually, no, I'm not. I am wearing. I'll show it again. I am wearing my Marathon JSAR Yaman edition. I was winding this watch, and the thing just said wear me today. Uh, I will definitely. I already mentioned that I'm going to be putting on Zelos later today. My Horizon Aventurine dial GMT. I'll wear that. Probably put on after the stream. NASCAR Ball says you can fill the Great Lakes with all the spit in baseball players in a season. That's funny. Big 12, Florida will not beat Georgia. Lou said that. Okay. Lou says a lot of things. A lot of things that Lou says are true. A lot of things that Lou says aren't true. A lot of things Lou says comes to pass. A lot of things that Lou says don't come to pass. Lou says Georgia's beating Florida. Okay, I'm saying Florida beats Georgia. We'll see what happens on Halloween. And then we'll know. Probably about 7 in the evening on Halloween. One fan base is going to be really happy, and one fan base is going to be really upset. Syrup Maker, thank you for the super chat, my friend. He says, afternoon, Saleen. Hope you're feeling better. Speedy recovery. I appreciate that. I'm okay, Syrup Maker. I really am. And I'm doing all right. It's just something went wrong over the weekend. Something didn't feel right, and I called, made an appointment, and on what was it, Monday? Yeah, Monday or Tuesday. Jeez, I can't remember anymore. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday. Jesus, it was yesterday. I can't remember it. I'm really messed up. I went in and he looked me over and he ran a few tests and we talked and he said, yeah, something is not right, but we'll make it right. So that's where I stand right now, which is going to take a little time, a little effort on my part, a little effort on his part, a little medication, and we'll be all right. Again, I will be at the Slob Olympics in March. For all you people on the Uncle Lou channel, you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, Slob Olympics is something that Lou came up with. It's sort of a Olympic style competition for all us YouTube fat slobs. We're all getting together at Centennial Olympic Park on March 5th, 6th, 7th of next year and having a few athletic competitions, a few mental competitions, and then we're all going to get to finally meet each other. I finally get to meet BVD. I finally get to meet Salida. I finally get to meet maybe Jeff Webster and Wilkie, and maybe NASCAR Ball will be there. Who knows? But I finally get to meet these people, and they finally get to meet me, and and Chess. Yeah, Chess will be there, and I get to meet him. Let's see, where did I leave off? NASCAR Ball says hockey is okay. I've been to a Predators game. It was a great experience. Yeah, hockey is a great sport. You just and it's not hard to pick up. And it's very enjoyable to watch in person. It's really a great game in person or on TV. But in person, you get to hear the bones crunch. Let's see. Sarah Baker says he'll see me in March. I'll see you in March. That'd be great. And again, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Wilkie says, not sure if I can handle my daughter dating. It's a fact of life, sir. Unless you shut her up in a room for the rest of your life, you're going to have to figure it out. So just remember all the things you did to young women and then make sure you tell her to watch out for these things. Cowboy Swami, pros and cons of applied versus printed dials. I think it all comes down to longevity, really. I think applied dials, well, they both can have longevity problems. Applied dials, you always run the risk of jostling the watch, and the applied indices or whatever can literally fall off and fall into the bottom of the watch, and then maybe jam the hands and screw up the movement. And then you have to have somebody take it apart and put it all back together, hopefully. Printed dials, the main thing you got to worry about them is the sunlight zapping them out and fading them and discoloring them. So that's really the pros of government. The pro of a printed dial is they're less expensive because they're less expensive to make. But they probably won't last as long because they're out in the sunlight and everything. They'll probably get faded out. Whereas an applied dial, the downside of an applied dial is more expensive to make, and if the applied indices fall off, they're a pain in the ass to repair. But they will also last longer and look better longer, I think. Let's see. The vet says I only have CBS for sports. Find a sports bar or find a friend, I guess. Or maybe you get the Fox Sports app or the NASCAR app on your phone. Maybe you can watch it that way. Let's see, private. You were wearing a nice watch when I had a guy come over to give me an estimate on work, and you suspect now that he's inflated the price because he thinks you have money. Yeah, you know, when I have that happen, I make sure that I don't wear a watch, and no jewelry, no watch, and I try and look poor. I don't know if it helps or not, but I don't want to give him any extra ammunition to jack the price. Wilkie wants to know if I do smartwatches. Absolutely not. I did for a while. Actually made a video of it on my channel, Wilkie. You might want to check it out. But to summarize, I've come to the conclusion that smartwatches have no soul. They have no, they bring nothing to the party. They're basically an extension of one of these. And I don't need an extension of one of these. I'd rather have one of these that have a soul, that have heart, that have mechanical advantage and appeal to me on the mechanical level. Being a car nut, that's where I come from. And a mechanical watch is just like it's a miniature engine in a way, and it appeals to me in that respect. Private, yes, I do take the watch off before the guy comes over, and I make sure he doesn't go into the room where I keep all my watches. So that's how I handle that. I try not to give a contractor any extra ammo to think that I have money. Let's see. NASCAR Ball said Uncle Lou also said the Balls would beat the Gators. Yeah, well, you know, I don't know what to say about that. The Balls are not beating the Gators. I'm sorry. We're going to walk into that stadium, Neyland Stadium, and we're going to do what we always do when we walk into Neyland Stadium. We're going to make the fans leave by the third quarter. Bye. Wilkie says, Lou is a big poop stirrer. Yeah, that's part of his appeal. That's one of the reasons I like him so much, because he and I share that in common. The difference is a matter of volume. Lou likes to stir things up all the time, whereas I'm too tired to do that now, and I just pick my battles. NASCAR Wallace, how about Dale Jr. getting into the Hall of Fame? Do I really want to go there? You know, Dale was a good racer. He's a great guy. He knows the sport. He grew up in the sport. He knows the sport. I mean, but what did he do in the sport? He didn't do anything. He didn't win a championship. I think he won, a couple of dozen races? I don't know exactly how many races he won. He didn't win a championship in trucks or Xfinity or Cup. He never swept a weekend, as far as I know. He was Dale Jr. He was Dale Sr.'s son, and he carried the torch after his dad was tragically died. And I think the passing of Dale Sr. was a great tragedy to the sport. But all Dale Jr. did was pick the torch up. you know, looking at it dispassionately, Dale Jr. is a slightly above average driver. You know, I don't know why he's going into the Hall other than, you know, it's the popular thing to do. So okay, he's going into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, sir. Keep being a great ambassador for the sport, and congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction. And quite honestly, I'm not sure you deserve it, but I'm glad you got it. Queen 86 Wembley. Hello from Italy. Hello from Florida. How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Private says it doesn't even have to be an expensive watch for this to happen. So people just see something nice. Yeah, yeah. And they judge you. Yeah, yeah. It happens. Sometimes they judge you badly. Private. I mean, if you're wearing an expensive watch, they think you're a tool, and you know they think you're a braggadocious tool. And sometimes that works for you in reverse in terms of you unimpress people that way. Or God forbid you walk out of a building or out of your house with an expensive watch on, and somebody cracks you over the head with a heavy object and steals it from you. So having expensive watches is great. It really is. I have some watches that are classified as expensive watches, um, but a lot of expensive watches out there, you wouldn't know they're expensive unless you're in the hobby. I mean, a Patek Philippe is a very, very expensive watch. I've seen some of those go up over almost $700,000. But you look at them unless you know what you're looking at. Somebody might think you're wearing a Timex. I'm being facetious, of course, a little bit. I'm being a little bit silly with that, but maybe that works to your advantage. If you're wearing a platinum Patek Philippe, but it doesn't look like a platinum Patek Philippe, maybe you won't get cracked over the head, and somebody steals your watch and maybe kills you. Blue Shirt says, I miss hockey so much. You and me both, bro. You and me both. My Bruins were having a good year too, but it looks like hockey's coming back fairly soon, and we'll get some. And look at it this way: all the teams are going to be 100% healthy and well rested going into the Stanley Cup. So that's going to make this year's Cup really, really interesting. Really interesting. You're a Rangers fan. Sorry. Sorry. I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I'm sorry about that. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people private. I don't know if anyone in here right now would be able to say that, but I'm sure it happens all the time. Ken Spears says hockey is the best game to watch in person. That's true. You're probably a Penguins fan, I would imagine, since you're from Pittsburgh. NASCAR Ball says I see the Predators beat the Islanders. The Press have a great home ice advantage. Yeah, the Predators have a great stadium to play hockey in. I've been there once. It's loud. Ballard is here. How you doing, man? Appreciate you stopping by, sir. The vet says he'll try to watch the race and give you my opinion. I appreciate that. I always I'd love to hear the opinion of someone who is just getting into NASCAR and watches a full race. The Talladega and the Daytona races are going to look a little different to you, Bet, because they are restrictor plate races, which means that they do something to the motors to restrict the horsepower they make, so the whole field is kind of all bunched together, whereas no other tracks use restrictors, so the field spreads out more and there's more passing and there's more racing, whereas the Talladega and the Daytona races, a lot of lead and follow and jockeying for position kind of thing. So it's going to look a little different. So I'd like you to watch that race and then watch the next couple of races after that on non-super speedways, and then tell me what you think. NASCAR also says smartwatches are pointless. I want to watch it. Looks cool. If I want to know who's calling me or texting me, I'll look at my phone. Exactly. Bama does that, not Florida. But Bama does what? I missed that. What? Help me out, Ben. What are you talking about? Glitter Gator is here. Oh, joy! The Glitter Gator is here. He's my very first and number one troll. And he's a Georgia fan, so of course he's going to do hashtag 4 in a row. Hashtag not. Um, don't think so. I think all you Georgia fans who are putting your faith into a refugee from a third tier ACC team as your quarterback, I think that might be a little misguided, but time will tell. And NASCAR boss says Dale Jr. shouldn't be in the hall yet if his Xfinity team wins a ton more championships, and maybe if JR Motorsports were to move to Cup, and then he should get in. I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. Cowboy Swami, in my opinion, Quartz has a soul also because some are serviceable, all metal construction and can last a lifetime. I agree. Well, quartz watches are not smart watches. Quartz watches are just very accurate watches. I mean, they are still mechanical in a way. No, Vol, there's nothing wrong with Timex. I was just picking an entry level watch as an example of an entry level watch that if they had the same color scheme and roughly the same size, somebody who didn't know what they were looking at would mistake a $100,000 watch for a $200 watch. It can happen. Trust me, I know. I have multiple quartz watches. I really do. Some Seikos. I have a Breitling quartz watch. I have um, I have a quartz watch from Comet. I have a bunch of quartz watches. If you look on my videos, you'll see a bunch of them. Nothing wrong with quartz watches. I love them. I love them. In fact, a watch that I just picked up, which I consider to be a Grail watch, is a super quartz, and they call it a super quartz anyway. And I'll be doing a video on that shortly and introducing that, and you'll see that this watch is a very, very special watch. Blue Shirt Bruce says, exactly, I can't wait for the playoffs to start. Neither can I. I think we're just going right into the playoffs, and it's going to be very exciting to watch. Dirk, who lives out in the area, is saying, go Sharks. Blackhawks is your backup team. Got to give props to the Vegas Knights. What a start to the league they had. I agree. That was a great start. The Bruins have always been my team. My backup team is the Tampa Bay Lightning because location. I love the Lightning, but not when they play my Bruins. When any team that plays my Bruins is the enemy, and any team that plays against the Montreal Canadiens is my third favorite team. Even Pittsburgh. I don't like Pittsburgh. Glitter Gator, I could care less about hockey. Yeah, I see that. But I like hockey and it's my channel. So, NASCAR Ball. Bridgestone, where the Preds play, is a great stadium. The SEC tourney was supposed to be here, and you had tickets and got robbed because of all COVID. Well, I hope you got your money back for the tickets anyway. You should have. Bama makes balls leave the stadium in the mid third quarter. Florida makes them leave mid fourth quarter. That's what you're talking about. No. I beg to differ with you, sir. We have made ball fans leave in the middle of the third quarter before. It's just that I guess, I don't even want to guess. I know that we've made it happen in the middle of the third quarter before, so, but I see what you're saying. Bama does own the balls like no other except Florida. In 34 years, you're still owned by us. Ken Spear, the time off should really help the Penguins. Jake Gazelle will be back and healthy. Crosby and Malkin aren't getting any younger. Yeah, same with my Bruins too. I mean, the time off certainly hopefully helped out guys like Chara and some of the other, and Bergeron and some of the older guys. They aren't getting any younger either, so it certainly helps every team. The only position I think that the time off didn't help is the goaltending, because goalies got to stay loose and they got to stay in practice. And I think goaltending is going to be an issue for everybody for at least the first few games. Hopefully, we'll be playing some tune-up games to get everyone back in hockey shape. Let's see. Cowboy Swami says go Flyers, Penn State, Eagles, Kyle Busch. Well, 1 out of 4 ain't bad. Could have said Kurt Busch and had a shutout, but appreciate that. Dirk saying, my oldest son has been playing hockey from age 6, both ice and roller, and he just turned 30 yesterday. Hockey runs deep. Yeah. If I had had sons, I probably would have tried to encourage them to play hockey. There's an arena. It's about a 20-minute drive, 25-minute drive up the interstate from me. I might have tried to get him into hockey. That would have been fun. Let's see. Ken Spear says Robert Morris is a local college with a pretty good hockey program. Nice, affordable way for me to get my hockey fix. That's cool. Nearest hockey to me is either Tampa or Fort Myers for the ECHL Florida Everblades. So I have pro teams relatively near me, but not near enough that I get to go all the time. NASCAR Ball says we were guests of the Preds because my aunt's husband's stepdad is president of the Preds, so we got to go. Oh, nice. It's always good to have connections. Blue Shirt Buddha says look for a young and healthy Rangers team to surprise a lot of people in the playoffs. It could happen. The bet, should we mention 2015 and 16 SEC championship games? You can mention them if you want. I mean, you beat up on a Florida team with really good defense and no offense, coached by a pair of idiots. 15 and 16 was all one idiot, McElwain, the shark humper. And you can mention it if you want. I can already acknowledge that, Alabama beat the living snot out of us because we had no offense. We had no offense because we had an idiot coach who didn't know how to coach offense and didn't know how to recruit. And between the shark humper and before him Moose Dump, the program was destroyed, and we're only just now getting back on our feet. So, what more do you need to say other than the fact that you beat the snot out of a weak Florida Gator team? I mean, that's like saying you're the best hockey player in Ecuador. Doesn't mean a lot. Don't sleep on the Gators under Mullen, or whatever you want to call it. Don't sleep on them. Cowboy Swami, is Rolex worth the money if sports models don't maintain them? That's an interesting question, Cowboy, because Rolexes seem to maintain their value fairly well, despite which model you're looking at. I mean, the Daytona is a sports model, and those things maintain their value, or in some cases even increase their value over time. The Submariner is a sport model. The GMT is sporty-ish. The Explorer and the Yachtmasters are sport watches of a sort. They all maintain their value to a high extent. The ones that don't maintain their value are the ones like the Day Date and the Datejust, the little 36 to 38. They will hold their value really well. The bigger Day Dates and Datejusts, the 40 and the 42 millimeters, they hold their value. And I don't know that no Rolex out there that I can think of doesn't hold value or increase over time. The Milgauss holds its value extremely well. The Sky Dweller, my God, the Sky Dwellers have skyrocketed in value. There are some that you can't touch for under $20,000. So I understand the question. I just don't think the question is. I don't agree with the question. I think Rolex holds its value very well. Some models better than others, like anything else. Um, Grooves, Music Nation. Sorry for the misunderstanding. I was trying to answer sometimes. Okay, I understand. NASCAR ball. I like Kurt more than Kyle. We talked about the Bush brothers. Never really had a problem with Kurt. He got on to the NASCAR media, the stupidest media. Yeah, I love it when Kurt used to just call the NASCAR media out, call them what they are, which is a bunch of idiots, and using stronger language. Of course, that was always great to me. He doesn't do that anymore. He's sort of grown up and calmed down a bit. I think that wife of his has really been a good influence on him. Nice looking lady, really, and a real class act. I mean, both Bush brothers really married well. Both classy ladies, both very smart, very intelligent, and both great compliments to the Bush brothers. I really think they both did extremely well. Mullen, Mississippi State almost beat us in 2017. Yeah, but almost is not beating you. So Alabama beat Mississippi State. And Mullen never had a chance at Mississippi State to do anything. I mean, Mississippi State is one of those teams. They might peak a little high every once in a while, but normally they're kind of a flatline program. They're above average team that is never going to beat Auburn or Bama or LSU for division titles. So I don't, when again, it's that usual troll bullshit that I hear about. Mullins never won a division. Yes, okay. Most of the time he was a head coach. He was coaching a team that never had a chance to win a division. And now that he's in Florida, he's trying to resurrect a program that was destroyed. And no, he hasn't won a division in Florida. That to me is just a matter of time. He never had a chance to win a division at Mississippi State. Anyone and everyone who knows college football knows this. So when people try and troll Florida fans about he never won a division, well, everyone knows that Mississippi State never had a chance. So that part of the conversation is like the teacher on a Peanuts cartoon. Wah, 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 wah. It goes in one ear and out the other. It means nothing. It doesn't affect me. Lou says that every time he makes a Florida video or a video where he's trolling coaches. And, at that point, I just mute the sound and watch another video. I love you, Lou. I really do. But, time to write some new stuff. I'm sure a lot of people have forgotten about that game. But, let's see. NASCAR also agrees with you. The Mississippi State Bama game was a great game. He also said the NASCAR media never criticize anyone, even ever. It's maddening. They won't criticize Suarez, who was a huge bust, and Kyle Larson, who was a complete joke. Well, Larson is out of the sport probably forever, unless he gets a whole bunch of African American folks to gather around him and says, we prayed with him, we talked with him, we counseled him, and we forgive him. And then he'll be touchable again. Right now, he's toxic. Nobody's going to touch him. Nobody's going to put him in a car with sponsor names on it. Kyle Larson's untouchable. Suarez, they'll fawn over him for the obvious reason, even though he can't drive. I mean, he was good in trucks. He was good in Xfinity. Drive in Xfinity again and get some more time behind the wheel because of cut. He's a rolling chicane. He's a rolling lane change. And he's never going to be any good until he learns to drive the damn car. But nobody's going to criticize him because of who he is. And you all know what I mean by that. That's not a knock on Suarez. He isn't who he is because of who he is. He's who he is because he's not very good at what he does. And that's the bottom line. He's not good at what he's doing, and he needs to get good or he needs to get gone and free that seat up for somebody else. And if he doesn't do it, somebody will do it for him. In translation is he will get fired when one of the Xfinity guys shows enough skill to come up and replace him, and then Suarez will be kindly shown the door and say thank you for your service, enjoy yourself, and good luck in your future endeavors. Let's see. The bet says he doesn't troll Florida fans, which is rare. I appreciate that. I think some good coaching can help them out. We have good coaching. All we need now is to get the players in the right place, and we'll be fine. Ken Spears says, I'm saving for my first Switch luxury purchase, but the 5-year-old kid in me sees all the cool versions of the Islander from what I watch once in a while. I see your problem, sir. I have one Islander. I made a video of it if you want to go watch it. I have the blue one. I changed the bezel out for an orange bezel. I didn't butcher the watch this time. But I understand there are a lot of cool Islanders, and I want all of them, but I resist because actually right now I've got 3 Zelos watches to buy, and that's where my money is right now. It's sitting, accumulating interest, and waiting for Elshin to release them. He's supposed to release one this month, and I can't wait. Let's see. NASCAR Ball says Larson was always, if you could just get to Miami or some nonsense. Yeah, I agree. That says what goes around comes around. I agree. What mistake did you make, Cowboy? I must have missed it. I don't think you made a mistake. If you're talking about that question you asked about Rolex, I think it was a great question. It was a very intelligent question, actually. The bet, trolling other fan bases is just pointless to me unless you're Notre Dame. We got to troll Notre Dame. I mean, just for the fact it's Notre Dame, you got to troll. Pemrex is here. How you doing, man? What do I think of Bronzillo's watches? I have a few. I have three. I have 2 bronze Hammerhead first gens, and I have a bronze skeleton Sky Raider. I like them all. I'm not into bronze. I mean, I don't dislike bronze. As a matter of fact, I just did a review of a bronze Boulder Odyssey, which those videos will be coming shortly. And I like bronze. It's not my favorite material, but if somebody hands me an opportunity to buy a bronze watch, and I like the watch, I buy it. Oh, I have 4. Sorry. The 4th one is a Zelos ZX5 chronograph. Let's see. NASCAR says Suarez took Carl Edwards' spot in 2017 and finished 20th. And in points in the 19 car, then MTJ comes along and finishes 2nd in point on Mark Truex Jr.'s MTJ. Then he went to the 41 racing car and failed because 41, and then went to the 96 car, which is a top 20 car on road courses, and failed to qualify. Yeah, Suarez is an underachiever. He's been put into winning machines at every stage of the game. He went into Carl Edwards' old car and immediately took that car to the bottom. He got put in the 41 car, which was a winning racing team, and sent that car to the bottom. And then he was kicked out of that car. And now he's in the 96 car, which is on a lower tier team, but was still a proven fast car, and has taken that car to the bottom. The common denominator with Suarez in NASCAR is he takes every cup car he gets into from here to here and kills it. And that ain't good. Pepper says the Sky Raiders are fantastic. Yes, they are. I did sell one of my two Sky Raiders, but I'm keeping the bronze one because that one's just too damn pretty to sell. Private says he's a roadblock. Yes. Suarez is a rolling roadblock in NASCAR. There are several of them. He's one of the bigger names. He's a big name roadblock. Ken Spears, scratching the Zelos itch could be another roadblock for me. Roadblock to what? Maybe some other watch ownership. No, this is not a Slob Olympic shirt. This is a Saleen shirt, actually. Slob Olympic shirts aren't available in polos yet. They're just the T-shirt. But I'm encouraging Lou to make long sleeve T-shirts and hoodies as well, because it's, when the Slob Olympics happens in March. I used to live in Metro Atlanta. Metro Atlanta in March is cold, so we need warm clothes if we're going to be running around Olympic Park and encouraging heart attacks. Cowboy Swami, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I really do. He says I wrote it wrong. If Rolex did not maintain a gain value, would they be worth the money? Thanks for the chat today. Great chat today. I appreciate that too, Swami. I really do. I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon. I'm going an hour and 15 minutes. I've never gone quite that long before. If Rolex did not maintain a gain value, would they be worth it? Yes, to me, and to a lot of people, because Rolex is, buying a watch as an investment to me is silly. I mean, there are some watches out there that are going to hold and increase in value because of the limited production numbers. Ulysses Nardin, Patek Philippe, Alonga Zona, Epu Lejour, even certain Rolexes that are not made in big numbers. They're going to hold value, pardon me, and maintain value and increase, pardon me again, because of their limited production. But a lot of Rolexes, like the day dates, the date justs, that are produced in larger numbers, they are going to hold some value just because they are Rolexes. They are made out of superior materials. They're made with very, very good movements. They have a classic look. They have classic engineering. They don't break. And they look great, and the materials they use are first-rate materials made by a first-rate company. So I would say, for me and for a lot of others, buying a Rolex, even if they don't gain value, they're going to hold value for the most part, and you still get to wear them. I mean, it's an investment, if you will, that will hold value that you can wear and enjoy. I mean, this watch here, this Marathon, I paid a good sum for it. Do I think I can turn around and sell it for what I got for it, or what I paid for it? No. Close, maybe within 80%, 75, 80%, but am I going to get 100% of my money back? No, but I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this watch while I own it, and I don't plan on selling it. I mean, just the bezel action alone makes me want to keep it. And, and if it fails, am I going to repair it? Yeah, absolutely, I'm going to repair it. So I think gain value maybe maintains it to a good degree, but gain value, is it still worth the money? My answer is absolutely yes. And in the case of Rolex, it's a 300% yes. I would definitely buy them. And from the videos I made, I own a couple of Rolexes, and I love them to death. And I'm not getting rid of them because of the sentimental value they have, the connection to my father, who's still alive, by the way, still alive, at least as of June 17th, 2020. If people watch this in the future, but he's still alive and he's still doing real well. But there's still our connection to my father. NASCAR also says Suarez was with the best two teams over the last 5 to 10 years in JGR and SHR. That was horrible. You're right. Ken Spears says the roadblock to the Swiss purchase mentioned earlier. I see. Okay. Now I get it. Pepperex, will I be getting the 40 millimeter swordfish or the 42 millimeter titanium swordfish? These are from Zelos. I will be getting the 42 millimeter swordfish in Damascus, which is the titanium Damascus that Elshin does very well. And I am promised that I will have one. And I am definitely getting one of those. As a matter of fact, that's why I sold my forged carbon swordfish, because the idea of having 4 swordfish is kind of silly. Actually, I might even sell another one, but I haven't decided yet. NASCAR Ball says Bubbles Wallace is better than Suarez. At least every once in a while, Bubbles will overachieve, and Suarez never came close. Yeah, but Bubbles saying Bubbles is better than Suarez is like saying that having explosive diarrhea is better than having flesh-eating parasite. You know, I mean, neither one of them is particularly a good thing to be, but a good thing to have. But I suppose one is a little better than the other. Pepper says, don't like the snobbery that comes with Rolex. Neither do I. You know, I own Rolexes. I have Rolexes. I love them to death. They're fantastic watches, but snob about them? No. They're a watch in the end. They're a very, very, very good watch. But in the end, it's not something that I want to get snobbish about. I'm not really a snob anyway. I don't have the ego for it. The bet says, I want you to be the next talent show next year. Okay, as soon as I find a talent, I'll do it. I have to figure out what talent I am that I can compete against. You know, like those guitar playing guys. Man, come on. How am I going to compete against Flashlight PP? I can't compete against that. Let's see. NASCAR Ball, do I watch any NASCAR YouTube channels? Surprisingly, no, I don't. I haven't really gone looking for any. Wilkie says buying expensive watches like buying a luxury car. You don't need it, but you will enjoy it and give you a sense of pride of ownership. Exactly. Thank you, Wilkie. Exactly right. Pepperex titanium is 42 millimeter, but they're coming out with a stainless steel 40 millimeter. Oh, that's for private. Yeah, that's true. Everything for you. That's a new one. I seem like an old person. I am an old person. I'm 55. I'm 55. I have 2 grown-up daughters that date, so I have gray hair and wrinkles. So I am old. Thank you. Pepperex, haha, yes, Zelos has so much more coming out. I don't know what to buy. That's an easy one, Pepperex. Buy one of everything. That's what I do. Let's see. Uncle Lou's here. Oh, I was just talking about you a few minutes ago. You'll probably rewatch the video and hate me. Can't hide money. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. Pepperex, I don't have a personal Facebook. I just use one to get into groups for a look around and see what's happening. Okay. He's talking private, sorry. Any other way to see what Zelos has coming pictures? Let's see. Well, the Facebook group, Zelos Timekeepers, is a great way. Or you can sign up on the Zelos website for their newsletter, which comes out every once in a while. Or you can watch my videos, but you do that already. I would say the best way then is to find other YouTube channels that have Zelos videos, or get on Facebook and just stick to the Zelos Timekeeper group and the Zelos Modders group and do that. I mean, those are the 2 best sources of information I have. Private says 55 is not old. I appreciate that. Everything for you. Do I watch anime? No, I don't. I did watch Star Blazers back in the day, but that's about it. I'm a little old for anime. Cowboy Swami says I look great. Oh, thank you. I'm trying. I mean, Florida living helps because I don't have to spend 6 months shoveling snow. I just have to spend 6 months worrying about hurricanes. Um, how did I become? The bet wants to know how I became a Florida fan. That I turned on TV one Saturday and Florida was on. How did I become a Florida fan? Oh, I remember. Um, Growing up in the town I was growing up in, one of my friends in school had an older brother who was and this was a big spread between them because there were several kids in between. But his oldest brother was going to the University of Florida back in the day, and he used to watch Florida on TV when it was on TV, and he always talked about Florida football. He was a big football fan, and he was going to UF. And he was talking about the Florida team and the stadium and the campus, and I fell in love with the campus and the idea of going to the University of Florida. At the same time, I also was introduced to Florida football, and then I got to see a game in '77 when he took his brother and he took me up there to see a game, and I got to see a game, and I was hooked. NASCAR Ball says, does being the most popular driver matter? I'm sure that had a big influence on why Junior is now in the Hall of Fame. Everything for you, I don't know what you're talking about, so I'd have to say no. I don't know who Jeff Ross is, and I don't know what roast is. I know what a roast is. It's usually a comic destruction of one person by a panel of his friends and family. Like the old Dean Martin roasts and that kind of thing. So, yeah, that is pretty random, Private. I agree. Loom, ahoy there yourself, sir. The bet, nice story. I mean, that's how a lot of things happen. I didn't know much about pro football until I happened to be out to dinner with friends of the family in 1972, and there was an early dinner because they were going to a game at the Orange Bowl. Miami was playing somebody, the Dolphins were playing somebody, and they had an extra ticket, and they asked my parents if I could go with them, and that's how I was introduced to pro football by being taken to a Miami Dolphin game during the '72 season, which I didn't find out till later when I was paying more attention. That was their undefeated season. And that's how I got introduced to pro football. But for some reason, I didn't become a Dolphin fan. I became a New England Patriot fan. Well, owing to the fact I was born in Boston. Pepperex says, is the Tabasco swordfish going to be $1,500? That's the rumor. I think that's what the price is going to be. Of course, Elshin has the final say on that. Private $1,500. Yes, that's what he means. Everything for you says you seem too ethical and virtuous. Thank you. Appreciate that. But not knowing who Jeff Ross is, I guess you're complimenting me, but I'll have to look that up. But not knowing who Jeff Ross is, I guess you're complimenting me, but I'll have to look that up later. Scarball says the most popular driver helps with sponsorship, which gives you, yeah, that's true. The more popular they are, the better sponsorship you get, the better ride you get. That's very true. Lumro, not tempted with the Zelos Mirage. Well, a couple of problems there. One, they all sold out in 13 minutes. Two, there were only 10 of them ever made. And three, the starting price was between $10,000 and $11,000, and I don't have that kind of change lying around. So No, I was not tempted by the Mirage. Well, I was tempted, of course, but I mean, I know what my bank account looks like, and it doesn't support, you know, two college student girls and a $10,000 watch. So no real temptation there. Is it weird? The Ben wants to know, is it weird that I'm a Ravens fan since I'm from the South? No, no. You like who you like, right? Desire 68, good morning. Well, it's not morning here now. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, and I've been going for an hour and a half. My God, I've never done a live stream this long. Private says, crazy, I'll stick with the regular titanium swordfish, hopefully around 450. Oh yeah, I understand that. Blue Shirt, thanks for stopping by, man. Later to you. Thank you for your support. You've always been a great supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it. Anyway, I just realized that it is now 1:30 in the afternoon here in the Sunshine State, and I really do need to. That's right, you are in British Columbia at this hour. I forgot about that. So yeah, it's still morning for you. Next watch is on my wish list. Okay, I'll answer that question. I'll start the wrap up spiel. Well, I have 3 Zelos watches that I know I'm buying for sure. They're not. The wish list is only. I wish they would get made. The Zelos dress watch, which hasn't been named yet. The 3rd generation Swordfish, which I believe is coming in July. That's going to be done in titanium, and I'll get one of those in Timascus. And the Thresher, which is the new 42 millimeter GMT, which I believe is going to be released this month, but he needs to get on with that. I just recently picked up a Grail watch that I had my eye on for years. I was able to make it happen sooner than I thought, so I'm going to be doing a video on that pretty soon. And my long-term Grail right now is the Omega Speedmaster from the Moon to Mars. That's going to run between $65,000 and $7,000, $6,500, $7,000. That was not going to happen until next year at the earliest because I still have to pay off my daughter's car. I have a few other debts to clear, not big ones, but I got to clear that. And then I got to start putting money aside for that watch. So 2021 at the earliest for that, from the Moon to Mars. And if you want to know what that looks like, you can find the images of that on Google all over the place. It's a fantastic looking watch. It really, really is an exciting looking dial to me. So those are my wish lists. 3 of them are going to be immediate, and then there's that Omega out there in the future. I'm going to make it happen. It's just a matter of time. Let's see. Cowboy Swami says, thank you. Great chat. See you next time. Appreciate you stopping by, Cowboy. I look forward to seeing you again. And Private, also nice chat. Have a great day. I appreciate everyone stopping by. I appreciate all the thumbs up so I can see them on my other screen here. I appreciate the 2 super chats I got. Very kind of you to do that. Really, it helps. I'm going to wrap the video up at this point. I even got Uncle Lou to stop by. That was unexpected. I appreciate it when somebody with 2 channels that are that big to stop by and support me for a moment. And he's a busy man, very important, very busy man, and I know that. But for him to stop by, I appreciate it. Saleen, Woogie says all the time. Anyway, if you're watching this after this live stream is over and you like the video and you like to give me a thumbs up, please. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you're going to troll me and be a jackass, I'll just delete the comment and I'll block you. It's my channel and I can do that. If you're not already a subscriber on the channel, please click that subscribe button for me. I appreciate it. And click the bell icon next to it so that when I upload more content, you are alerted to it. I try and do these every Wednesday, just because why not? It doesn't interfere with my two other favorite channels, live streams, and they're a lot of fun, and I get to talk to you guys. And Wilkie, thank you for the super chat too. I appreciate that. You have a good day yourself, sir. I'll see you all next Wednesday. I'm sure I'll do it again. We'll do this again. I love these. I love these free for alls. I love these live streams where I can basically talk to you guys about anything I want, anything you want. It's a lot of fun. Take care. Go Gators. Screw you haters. Love you guys. Bye bye.